Hello, YouTube. We are back with another one of these debates/podcasts with the Anti-Richters. We're going on a roll lately. We have a lot of people, and so far we have Sin. Is that how you say it? Sin?
Yeah.
Alright,
Same.
so we have Sin. So, Sin, say hello.
Hello?
Alright, so this guy is going to ask me some questions. I'm going to respond to them. We'll see where this goes. So, Sin, you may begin when ready.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. Let me go to the Google document right now. First question I'd like to ask you, can you describe Richterism in a sentence?
Okay, so alright, well, in a sentence. You're asking me. Alright, I'll give you a sentence, and I'll try to give it a sentence. So it's basically a defined version of loyalty. In other words, so loyalty is usually defined by the general populace. It's our definition of how someone is loyal to me, and it's our definition of how someone, well, it defines the loyalists that are with me. Instead of just saying, oh, he's loyal to me, I say, oh, he's a Richterist, which is defined by a document that says what a Richterist is.
Mm, right. I ask you this because the close friend of mine who enlightened me about the quote-unquote things you did asked me this question because he keeps talking about how Richterism isn't the real ideology and all that stuff, and
Real
I wanted your
ideology.
point about it.
No, not a
Yeah.
real ideology. It's a fake one.
Yeah. No, he keeps just talking about that. So yeah, I needed to bring that up for you, for
Alright.
him. Another question by him, and also I personally was interested in this question, so that's why I put it in as well. How seriously do you take Richterism?
How seriously?
Yes.
Uh, I'm trying to think because I don't really. What do you mean? How seriously do I take it? Are you saying do I tell my IRL friends about it, or are you saying like what do you mean when you say that?
Like how serious do you take the beliefs? Like how sorry, but how seriously do you take the Richterist belief? Like because I've just been interesting about that. Sorry, my English isn't the best.
Oh, it's
Um, it's a little hard to explain. Like just how seriously do you take it? Like how seriously do you? Yeah.
well, as I just explained, it's a fake ideology. It's an ideology that I formed to unify my following and define them um, in the groups that I do. It was founded because we had an issue where there were loyalists, but they weren't loyal the way I wanted them to be loyal. Like, for instance, back in the day, back during my Scotland, not World War II Scotland, my medieval Scotland, there were people that would do shit I didn't like, and then when I exiled them, they would say I betrayed them, and I said, what do you mean I betrayed you? And they said, oh, well, you want everyone to be loyal, but you're not even loyal to us. And I'm like, oh, I get it. So you think that the whole loyalty program is about, everyone being loyal to each other. He's like, yeah, that's what it basically is. I'm like, no, it's not. So eventually, after all of these mistakes occurred, I eventually got pissed off one day and said, you know what? And I purged like half of my following and said, the rest of you are going to help me form this doctrine. And that's when I founded the whole Richterist thing. But it's not something that it's not like a religion. It's not like it's something that I worship or take it into the real world. It's a fake ideology. None of the beliefs are things I even really believe in the real world aside from loyalty to God. The only unconditional loyalty I have in the real world is to God and I guess to Nick Fuentes. But obviously, in real life, I'm an Americanist populist, not a Richterist. Richterism, like I said before, it's a Lego ideology. It's not a real life ideology, and therefore, all the people that quote unquote believe in it on the platform. I have never heard of a Richterist that goes around IRL and spreads it to his IRL friends, to my knowledge.
I just imagine a Richter is going to the candidacy, like an ironic Richter is.
I mean, I don't know what I would do if someone actually did that. If
I
someone,
mean, I'd love to. Yeah, continue, sorry.
yeah, if someone actually took it into the real world, we would probably make fun of them, and we'd try to make them to not do that by going forward with it. But at the end of the day, it's not like I'm gonna exile someone if they. Well, we do have rules. Like we did say, if you unironically worship me, it's illegal because I mean, that's just way too far. There are
It's just
things,
cultism.
yeah, that's just cultism. There are things that we have made, cringy slash illegal because, I mean, it's common sense. But
Yeah.
in regards to someone going IRL and having IRL doctrines or LARPing, I mean, that's kind of up to them. But would I condone it? Would I encourage it in any way, shape, or form? No, definitely not.
Right. Yeah, no, it would be funny if there would be like a fucking like 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 you know that cult in Japan, right? Where they
Yes.
like worship this blind guy. Yeah, imagine that, but like in America, but you're the blind guy, like you're worship. Like they'd fucking bomb trains in your name.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, there's been some weird conversations about like, what if we did Richterism IRL, but it's all like hypotheticals and stuff, and it's like, where we were like looking up like uniforms and what it would be like, and I remember we had like the set the set uniform would be like a crimson dress shirt with black pants, and we'd go around. And then we found like these banners that we could like carry around and shit like that. And I remember it was like we had this joke where instead of doxing people, we would go near anti-richterist houses and we would just march around just to freak them out or something like that.
Fucking march around
Yeah,
houses.
march around people's houses and just as hypotheticals, I guess.
Oh, all right. I thought you'd like break into their houses just to march around
break
and hit like.
break into the SA moment. Yeah, man. When I become president of the Richterist States of America, I'm just gonna, break into people's houses and execute them on site. But
Make like a dictatorship.
oh yeah,
And
definitely.
instead of like the Burgundian system, it's like the Octavian system or something.
Oh, did you see the meme video where it's like Hail Octavia when it's like an old meme from 2010? Hold on, I'll look it up real
Wait,
quick.
do you mean the one from that one fake like news source
Yes,
thingy?
yes, yes, that one.
Yeah. I actually thought for a while that Octavia was inspired by that for some reason.
No. Oh, no. It was not inspired by it. We had no idea that meme even existed until like a day later. Someone sent it to us, and I'm like, what is this shit? And we all watched it, and I'm like, what the frick? Like, wow, we have this whole coup going on in the U.S. government. Like, it was just funny looking back at it and watching it. So, oh
Yeah,
man, all hail
yeah, yeah,
Octavia.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let me check other. All right. Um, I had this question from someone else as well. Um, I can scrap this question right here, but someone asked me to ask you this. People say you have a very since you have this quote ideology on this platform going over that you should let's say people should be loyal to you, let's say,
Right.
right? And a lot of people, at least in my friend group and all that stuff, told me it's kind of like they had the feeling it's kind of like something egotistical to you. What do you think about that?
If it was egotistical, why am I retiring in a few months? Why do I not give myself any of the money? So on and so forth. If it was all about the ego and myself, why, for the first half of my career, did I not care about myself? Why was I a nationalist for a good long while? The only reason why I made the ideology around me is because it's more beneficial to them. It's more beneficial for the collective if they unify around a leader. And the philosophy behind this is that for tens of thousands of years, in real life, of course, I'm using real life examples, FYI, for tens of thousands of years, humans didn't have a democracy. They didn't have a state where there was all these different governments. It was organized by tribes, and those tribes had leaders, and the leaders were the most alpha male people in the entire tribe. They were the most dominant. They were the most charismatic. Whatever. That was how it worked for tens of thousands of years. And obviously, after these tribes became city-states, or after they became these large empires with thousands and thousands of people, then they organized them into things like dictatorships or things like empires where the dynasties would rule. Um, yeah, simply put, I mean, if you want to call Richterism egocentric, then you might as well call every government before, I don't know, 500 BC egocentric, because that's how things were done back then. You were loyal to the alpha male leader, and you were loyal to them unconditionally. I mean, back in the day, would you say I was egotistical during TRI? I mean, kind of, but to be fair, that was more of a character. I don't know, were you around during the Richter Imperium?
Well, I heard about it, but I never really was that invested in it.
Okay. So during
Yeah.
TRI, it was kind of a ego stretch because I was kind of pissed off at everyone. I was pissed off at Lavo, I was pissed off at Nerfer, I was pissed off at literally everyone in the community, and I was kind of mad because of everyone. So I had this master plan of basically taking over the genre, or taking over quote unquote Europe. And what happened was everyone freaked out. Everyone said, "Oh my God, Richter went from being this honorable, kind individual to being this egotistical maniac that wants to basically kill everyone's group and delete them," which is bullshit. Um, the whole
Wait,
reason
question. Is that where the like the start of the,
Richterism,
your
yes,
hatred came from? All right.
the start of my hatred.
Yeah, like your disliking through the community, from the
I've
community.
never, I've never hated the community.
Oh, no, 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 no. Is that where the community disliked you from?
Yes, yes.
Right, right, right.
Um,
Okay.
right. So that's correct. That's when the controversy all started. Before TRI, I was actually known as the most honorable individual in the entire community. In fact, I would join a group called Danzig, and I ran as an independent, and almost everyone in the entire group voted for me. And this was back when everyone was involved in Danzig and Anglia and all the other city groups. Everyone was involved. And then after, I think, Oceana, my first hater group was Lopi and Alexander Strangelove. And then it was Lavo. And then Lavo made up, and then the Strangeloves kind of made up, but only like halfway through. And then eventually, when I did TRI, I used a map that apparently. So my devs worked for the Copenhagens, and apparently the Richentovs built the entire map, but they let Lothair use it. And essentially, the Richentovs worked for me as well. They were basically my loyalists, and so when I did TRI, they gave me one of the maps, and when I used it, everyone said I stole it because they recognized it from Imperial Europa. And I said, no,
Right.
the Richentovs made it. And they said, no, Lothair made it. And I said, no, like, these guys literally made this shit. Because I know the Richentovs' developing skills, and I know for a given fact that that map is something that they would make. So I don't know if Lothair hired them. I don't know if the Richentovs made it and then gave it to Lothair, or how all of that went down. But from what I remember, it was not stolen. It was given to me by the Richentovs, and the Richentovs worked for me for the next year. But anyways, back to what I was saying before. Um, you asked about, what was it? Oh, egotistical. All right. So back then, I had a bit of an ego. I kind of had this weird thought where I was going to take on everyone. That it was more of this idea where if everyone is loyal, then we're basically unstoppable. And during my speeches, I made the great mistake of praising myself. And I didn't really realize at the time that praising yourself is not really an optical thing when you're, leading a people, because it just makes you sound selfish and whatever else. So that's one thing I did. The other thing was I was very, very hostile. I was very, very aggressive. There was not really any chill to me. I mean, if you really got to know me, I was chill, but most of the time I was very serious. I was very professional, and I never, like right now, I'm being very laid back. But back then, if you met me back then and you were like not with me or not on my side, I would be very aggressive. And I didn't really realize at the time how painful it must have been for everyone else trying to reach out to me and be friendly. But that was all because I was throwing on a character. At the end of TRI, at the end of the day, it was all just the character that I was trying to play out because I was the antagonist. I was trying to be an antagonistic character that was supposed to be hated, but on a gaming level. I didn't think that doing so would get me hated on an actual scale so large and so extreme that there would be SWAT attempts. In fact, yesterday I was given intel that now the anti-richters are putting a plan together to send um that they cut some wires in a phone charger, and apparently they put batteries next to it so that when I open it, it's supposed to like blow up or some shit. I really don't know what
Jesus
that's all
fucking
about.
Christ! This is just terrorism at this point. What
I
about a
have
fucking
the
Lego game?
I have the chat logs too, but yeah, I didn't ever expect that me throwing on a character in a mask during TRI to be some edgy, I don't know, egotist would result in people trying to kill me like 3 years later. It's kind of funny how, something so small, and I mean, I guess I take some blame for it, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like everyone has gone through that phase. Like Lewis once had this edgy Nazi phase where he wanted to, take over the United States of America. Or Nerfer had this edgy phase where he was trying to delete every Axis group, and now he still kind of is, but at a lesser scale. Everyone has had their phase where they were edgy and kind of egotistical. And I think it's kind of
Yeah.
unfair that when I was in that phase, instead of getting a slap on the wrist, I kind of got this DDoS. I got the doxing, the DDoSing, the hacking, the scamming, everything. I've gotten a taste of everything, and that's kind of my view on it.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I get why you're frustrated. I can find kind of relate with it because when I was still very active in making my own little milsim groups, I was pretty on my own ass a lot of times, and that resulted in me being harassed and a lot of times, even doxxed at one point. So yeah, I can kind of feel where you're coming from. It's pretty frustrating.
Hmm. So
But also, before we continue with the rest of the questions, because we still have a few, um, I'd actually no, never mind, no, never mind.
okay,
Um, so currently wait, let me ask you this question first. I don't know why someone asked me this, but I just wanted to be sure to ask you because he kind of, asked me a lot to ask this. Are you actually leaving after Octavia? Because I'm pretty sure after you got banned, which I can remember, you also returned back to Roblox or something. When
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Even though you said you'd quote unquote quit. So are you actually gonna quit this time, or is it gonna be like one of those cases where you're gonna return after a while? Because I've heard you say a lot that Roblox is you want to quit it, but it's a place that keeps you coming back.
It is definitely something that we all struggle with as some sort of retarded addiction, but the reason why last time I came back was because I didn't have a set motive. What happened was, it wasn't that I wanted to quit, it was the fact that I was forced to quit. Not only was I forced to quit, but I was making these statements like, oh, I'm going to come back next summer, oh, I'm going to come back next year, oh, I'm going to return eventually, and that gave me an
Mm.
excuse to eventually return. It wasn't a situation where, I was bored and I was just done and I wanted to, just move on with my life. Um,
Right.
Now, it is true that during this time period, I was kind of dabbing, or wow, what a great term to start off with. Dabbling, rather. I was dabbling into different programs and politics, and I thought that politics was going to be this thing where I want to be active every day doing stuff. But I later found out that politics is a very, um, you know, like the meetings are like once a month for the GOP, or the fact that interning or doing anything for other representatives or other people running for office is also something that's done every so often. I thought it'd be something where I'd be doing something every day, kind of like Roblox, where you're always consistently focused on doing a project. But politics was not like that at all. So not only did I underestimate my programs I was getting into, and not only did I have free time to continue playing this platform, but also I had set a lot of You know, I mean, right after I quit, I moved to Brick Planet. I moved on to other games and tried getting the Richters involved, which was a really bad idea because Brick Planet was dog shit. And
Listen, sorry to say this to you, but you could do better fucking things than fucking Brick Planet, bro. Come on.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, there wasn't really anything else out there. I mean, what else is there besides Arma 3? I mean, what is there that is free?
I heard that. No, wait, does Gmod cost something? But I
Yeah,
heard Gmod was really good at,
yeah, but
the
it
chair.
costs
I don't
money.
know. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, my friend, my Filipino friend, keeps like crying over how great fucking Gmod is. Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah,
but I mean, yeah,
before
yeah,
Roblox, I used to play Gmod too, so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I never really was really into Gmod that much.
Hmm. Well,
But yeah, yeah.
Roblox war sims are very unique to Steam war sims because games on Steam that are simulators are by division. They don't really have the drama. When I ever did like Mountain Blade Warband, Atlantic Wars, or Holdfast, or any of those games, Arma 3 even, Squad, all of their groups are very like they're immersive as hell, but there's no drama. There's not any like you go in there and they're very friendly. You go in there and it's like a regiment or a division, and they have events. Like every Saturday they have an event or they have a training every Monday, and there's nothing really unique. I mean, some groups might have a like unique thing where they do patrols or they might do like a rally or a ceremony, but like it's very repetitive. And when it
Yeah.
comes to Roblox war groups, it's like a lot more creative. Like you can create your own
Mhm.
maps, you can create your own ideas, your own genres, your own studios. Like it's 1,000 times more dynamic than any of these other war sims. And I like them a lot more
Mhm.
also because of the fact that the war sims on Roblox are based on nations. Like you're an actual dictator, you're not some general of the army. Like you're an actual leader of an entire empire that you have to manage and whatever else. And I find that a lot more entertaining than being some retarded colonel commanding a regiment full of 100 people. And so Roblox, in my opinion, has always been something I preferred as opposed to any other war sim because of that factor. And also, um, I mean, I am way too busy even nowadays to even remain active on Roblox. I mean, I'm only active on Roblox twice a week. I'll hop on for maybe less than an hour and that's it. I can't
Yeah.
even work on my videos anymore. Now I have to hire people to now edit and even produce videos because I am just too busy with what I do. The only thing I really do that is relevant to Roblox is stuff on Discord, where it's either doing podcasts like these or it's responding to people. And the podcasts are at really weird times. Like it's either I'm doing them before school starts or I'm doing them um late into the night. So right now,
Yeah.
obviously, I don't have classes for a little bit. So I obviously I'm on very tight schedules. Unless it's like the weekend.
Right.
On the weekends, I have a lot more free time than I do on the weekdays. But not only that, but I'm
Yeah.
working out. I am a lot more involved in politics. I have, jobs. I have, influence. I have all this stuff going on, and I just can't
Uh,
really. I don't really have the time to focus on Roblox. And the
mhm.
reason why I'm quitting Roblox is because of the fact that I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be known as the guy that's in his mid 20s still playing Roblox while he's leading a political group in real life. I mean, to me, that
Yeah.
sounds kind of cringy, and Roblox is also
Yeah.
very time consuming. If there's an issue, like if someone apparently is trying to overthrow me, which would has not happened in like forever, but that's just an example of an extreme situation.
Yeah.
If an extreme situation occurs, it will require my assistance. It's not like someone could just log on and deal with it themselves. If there is a
Yeah.
crisis, I'm the only one that can fix it. And if I don't fix it, then everything just goes to shit. It's like everything just
Yeah. Yeah.
goes,
Yeah.
all the way down to sewer shit. And meanwhile, I can't log on because I'm in a meeting or I'm across the United States hosting or doing a rally for another group
Yeah.
in real life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
that, because I do also admit that Roblox is very addicting, but to be
Yeah.
honest, so is leading people in the real world. In the real
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
it's a lot more serious. And Roblox isn't as serious, and since I'm a very serious individual, I find it more fitting to do real life shit as opposed to online shit. Not to mention, in the real world, if you screw up, there's actual consequences. On Roblox, if you screw up, you lose a Lego rank, and you can continue doing your shit. But in the real world, there's shit so-called fining. So let's say that someone wants to work for me. I say sign this document. Well, if they don't do their job, I can fine them and make money off of their incompetency, right? Or another case
Mm.
is if someone is a part of a group and I say attend this meeting. Well, if they don't attend it or if they fail to attend it, they can't say, "Oh, it's I have real life," because it is real life. So I find real life stuff to be a lot more easier, a
Mm.
lot more of my taste, and a lot more fun than Roblox. So I think I don't think I would come back because um, I'm not even on Roblox that often. There's not like I never go inactive for 2 weeks on Roblox, and then when I'm back on the computer, I don't say, "Oh, I'm so great to be back." I kind of just continue doing what I'm doing, and if I need to be on, I'm on. Not only that, but like I said before, I am more excited for political events aside. Well, I was excited for Octavia's launch. Don't get me wrong about that. I was excited for that, but real life political events are more exciting to me and you know, political stuff as opposed to Roblox stuff. So I'm not really
Yeah.
concerned about coming back. And if I ever did, it would be very, very awkward because I have made very many promises. I've made very many guarantees that I wouldn't, and I there's not really any loopholes. I haven't said there is going to be a second coming. If I say there will never be a second coming, there won't be a second coming. It's that simple. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be weird when you're gone. Honestly, it's gonna be pretty weird. I it's I feel like a lot of shit would work differently at the time because I feel like first of all, a lot of people, um, a lot of people would, kind of fall out of grace. I feel, and I feel like a lot of people also. I feel like it would be kind of a weird time for in that time because I feel like Richtarians and all that stuff. Wait, will Richtarianism continue or what? Or will it just die out along with you? Or will there be another leader?
So I spoke about this in the Loof podcast, but I'll explain it
Mhm.
again for your sake. So Richterism will never die out so long as at least one individual maintains the beliefs, or as I like to say, maintains the banner of the old age. And new generations will realize the struggles of the old age when the banners begin to tatter. And through the tattering and through the soiling of all of the banners, they will eventually come to realize the same struggle, and they will, in a way, relate to our struggles through everything dying of old age. So through this whole philosophy, it's supposed to live on for quote unquote eternity. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if it will live on for an eternity, but that's the metaphor really. It's supposed to live on.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I thought that. I mean, do you think that people like Mao wouldn't have like a big figure anymore because you'll be gone, but vegetarianism will still be around for some time.
um, I don't think Mao will stick around. I think Mao, I think his men don't hate the Richters, they hate me. Um, Even though they try to mess around with some of my friends, I guess, or some of my Richters, their main target is me. They don't care about the Richard stuff. They don't care about the Sim stuff. They don't care about any of the other people, unless it's Spartan. They care about
Right.
Spartan for some reason, but they only care about me. And I think if I leave, because I think you've heard this before, where the only reason why Mao is relevant, the reason why Mao is still kicking around, is because of his hatred towards me. If it wasn't for me, his group wouldn't be unified because his members also hate me. And before I was around, they hated Mao. They didn't like Mao. There was civil conflicts. They made fun of him. They mocked him. And then when I came around, they all started mocking me. And Mao used this to propel his propaganda to try and keep them focused on me. After I
Right.
quit, it's going to be very hard to do this, obviously, because then I'll be gone, and they'll probably go back to their old ways, or maybe they won't. But assuming they will,
Yeah.
Mal will just quit. He'll just also quit, in my opinion. If he doesn't quit,
Yeah.
well, then he's kind of just he kind of just sits there and does nothing. Because shit posting and wasting your time being a retard every day would be kind of boring. And if you find that productive,
Yeah,
then well, good luck with having a life. But um,
yeah.
that's kind of how I see it. I think the majority of anti-Richters, after I quit, they're either going to go inactive or they're going to die. And the ones that don't are going to target Richard. They're going to try and take over it because that's what they did
Right.
back then. But that's what Hadrian tried doing when I quit. He tried infiltrating and becoming the new leader, and it almost worked. It actually almost worked,
Actually,
but
fucking almost worked.
yeah,
What the fuck? How?
because the current successor at the time was Sim, and Sim is probably the most submissive, retarded individual that was around at the time. Why the council chose him to be the next leader, I have no freaking idea. But obviously, this was a pretty shitty decision, and it resulted in a shitload of snakes trying to replace him. There's this one Jewish guy named Archimedes that was extremely obsessed with getting power, and then there was Hadrian. Hadrian was the first option, and then apparently I came in and I said, yeah, no, this guy's an asshat, don't let him in. And they said, oh, okay. So then instead they made Hadrian Emperor of Turan, and then the successor was Archimedes, which Archimedes was almost just as bad as Hadrian, because his plan was to disband the Richter dynasty and form his own dynasty and form his own shit. But we found out before that happened, and we were able to remove him before any of that shit took place. So it was a massive shit show, and that's kind of another reason why I came back early was because of how shitty it was. Like I said before,
It
I
sounds
didn't.
like a fucking mess.
Oh, it was. Okay, Riddle, you want to hear something actually? After I quit, all of the Richters would split up into like 7 different groups. So there is a Muslim empire called Turan. There is a Dutch empire. There is a British empire. There is a French communist regime. There is a Korea remake, and there is a TRI remake called Antic. um
Mhm.
Hadrian unified all of these groups under another group. Guess what group he unified them under?
What group?
The Muslim Empire group, of all
What the
groups.
fuck? Jesus Christ. This is like fucking. What the fuck? It's literally just like fucking Hoi 4 on fucking Roblox. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, so basically the Christian Richter dynasty became this Muslim super state, and apparently it was so autistic. The borders of Turan went from Finland all the way to northern China.
Oh my. It's like, dude, the only thing I can think of right now is fucking the Mongolian Empire and that fucking shitty "You Didn't Have to Cut Me Off" song. That's how fucking complex it is right now in my head. What the fuck? That's such a fucking mess.
Yeah, it was very. Hold on, this guy's leaving everything. That's weird. Sorry, yeah. So it was a very, very autistic scenario. Um, where I remember looking at Turan and I'm like, what is this shit? And I remember seeing Enver was like this like caliphate leader, and I'm like, wow, did the Richters go Muslim or something? Like, what is like what is going on here, guys? Like, when did you all convert to Muslimism? Like, it's so stupid how they didn't choose Korea. They didn't choose the Richter Imperium remake. They didn't choose the Dutch Empire or the French Commune. They chose the Muslim Empire of all groups. So I was
Oh
just
my
ready to pull my
god.
brains out. And then
Oh.
Sim was an even shittier story. So the first thing Sim did when he got power was he told all the Richters to join the new German Empire. Why they did that, I have no freaking idea. But they all joined this falling apart German Empire for a while, and then that went to shit real fast because nobody liked the Richters, and Sim's like, "Oh, Edgy Weirdo, Hell Hitler," and you know, apparently, yeah. So that happened, and uh, after all of it went to shit, I remember I was out. I went on this this was so while I was on break, I was going out to parties, I was hooking up with women, and I was hooking up with this ginger, and it was very depressing because it was like I kind of realized that all the women wanted was sex, and it was a very I'll just say it was a very bad experience It wasn't
Yeah.
embarrassing. It was just like, you know, it was like I was in the epitome of Weimar culture. Like, you know. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I come back home and I look in the chat and I see these pictures of what looked like Sim in a hood, depressed, and then I see a picture of a bike. Below that, I see I was kicked out of the house and I'm running away. And then I look at another picture and I see a large ass trail of grass. Like, imagine a bike going through a trail of grass and all the grass behind is dead. And then I see Sim saying, "I ran away, guys." So the new fewer of the Richter people basically got grounded, and then he got kicked out of the house, or he quote unquote ran away, and there was no leader because the leader, the fewer had no access to anything. He was apparently out in the middle of nowhere, running away from his home, and
What the fuck,
I
dude?
yeah.
Imagine spending years of your life fucking building up this fucking legacy of yours, right? And then just like going away for a while, and then when you like curiously like fucking return, it turned into a fucking Germanic Islamic caliphate. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was oh doggy. It was a I remember I came home and I'm like, yo, what's up? And I read all that shit and I was like, what do I how do I respond? But um I remember the last thing Sim said before anything else happened was quote unquote, I didn't get very far. And then you see him take a picture, and it's like a picture of like 10 or like a block of like dead grass left behind him. And long story short, his like parents followed the trail of dead grass and found Sim and returned him home. So it was like it was
Oh
depressing.
my god,
They were, you
dude.
know, and no, this was after my account got deleted. I quit right after I got quit or sorry, let me rephrase that. I kind of just splurged all over the freaking PC stream. Right. So, first thing that happened was I lost most of my funding. Then I got deleted. Then or no, before I get deleted, the Carpet video got released, and then I got deleted. So literally, this was probably the most depressing time in all of Richter history because it was just I mean, group after group got deleted, account after account got deleted. I remember like almost a dozen Richter accounts also got deleted. It was like a deletion after deletion. It was just constant depressing moment after depressing moment. And so they were already in a shitty situation. And watching them all depend on a Muslim Germanic caliphate under a Muslim leader and a shitty successor was probably, it topped it all.
Bro, man, it literally just sounds like modern day Germany at this point. What the fuck
It
is
was,
happening?
yeah. It was definitely a factor that made me want to come back because I kind of felt bad. And yeah, so when I came back, I made very sure that the Richters would be too strong to go through the same shit again. So now we have a new system of succession where basically the council votes in a successor, and that successor is a 6 month trial period. And if that successor screws up in those 6 months, the council can vote to remove him. But if he passes those 6 months, then that successor absorbs my total power, and he continues on my legacy. So that's the current system
Right.
in place that we are
Hey,
going to
man.
implement. So
Yeah, hey, man. Good luck. I really hope that next time you quit Roblox, it isn't like a fucking Richterianism doesn't like turn into a Jewish Cambodian super state or something.
oh no, I had a nightmare the other day that so we have this meme against Polish people because Polish Rifle was one of our councilmen. And what's funny, the ironic thing about Polish is Oswald and Richard would always joke around saying that Polish Rifle would be the downfall of the Richter people and how the Polish people, like the eternal Polish individual, will destroy and they will subvert the Richterian people. And they always bullied Polish. Well, ironically enough, I think it was like a month after they were cracking these memes that they found out that Polish was actually going to try and betray me. And then they were like, holy shit, like, you know, our joke was actually serious and Polish got exiled. So the other day I had this nightmare that that I had quit Roblox and that Polish rifle had come back, kind of like Hadrian, but he would come back and he would be the new successor, and he would tell everyone to essentially merge into a Polish empire during World War II. And all I remember seeing is like the armored division being a cavalry division, and they're just like rolling around on horseback, and then during raids they just get slaughtered by tanks. And then I remember also Polish army saying like, um, Polish hussars are elite. Polish hussars are elite. The Polish hussars are going to lead us to victory. And then within the next minute or two, the Polish hussars charge into tanks and get slaughtered by like Lewis's army. It was a very terrifying. I was terrified seeing my entire Richterian people be merged into a shitty Polish empire, and
Yeah,
it was not the most pleasant nightmare. I remember waking up and I'm like, that was a nightmare, right? That's not my entire legacy is in the
yeah,
Polish Empire, right? So
yeah.
that was over with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, man, good luck with that. I have one more question before we go into the more darker side of the question, the more less funny side of the questions. Um, so, how does it feel? Because I feel like this is the case currently with you in the MailSim community. How does it? How does it? What do you think of being like pretty much like kind of like a punching bag in the MailSim community?
A punch, so
Everyone. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean, right?
I
Like a kind of
do,
like a punching bag.
I kind of do.
Yeah, what I'm trying to Richtarians are pretty much like the Jews of the MailSim community at this point.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear about the final solution document where it's like the Richterian question must be answered with one
Oh
thing:
yeah.
extermination. We must exterminate the Richterian people because they are lying, and they will keep their dirty lying mouths shut. And oh my God, man. I mean, at
Oh
one point we were
man.
the fascists of the community, then we were the communists, and now apparently we're the Jews of the community. So looking back, it's like, in my opinion, in all honesty, I think that people are just kind of jealous, and I think that people want what I have, but they won't have what I have because they don't have the doctrine to do it. They don't have the community that is dedicated enough to do what I have been doing. And so, because of the fact that I have all of this shit, and because of the fact that they're also, most of them have an ego, and they don't want to, brag about it or see how good it is, and also because of the controversy that originated, and instead they just shit on it. They just say, oh, Richter is weak, Richter is, this, and that, and, he does this shit, he does that shitty, and it's like, at the end of the day, man, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it doesn't really make much, well, it makes sense. I mean, they're trying to cope. They're trying to cope really, really hard on what I have and what they
Yeah.
don't have. But,
Yeah, they are just like cope seething, I guess.
yeah, 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 they cope and they seethe. And, I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of wish that they were more respectful. I kind of wish they were more open to listening to me and not being assholes all the time. At the same time, I mean, I don't really care that much. It doesn't really bother me. So,
Yeah, yeah, okay. So here are one of the more darker questions I got asked to ask you. And I think you've already been asked this a lot, and I think you've already addressed this sometimes.
yeah,
But I just want to get a full idea of your response to it.
sure.
So if you're fine with me asking that, then yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know if this is irrelevant or anything like that, but like most of the people I ask, which I asked a pretty few, asked me to ask you this,
Sure.
and I think it's pretty important for me to ask this because I feel like a lot of people are anti-Richtarian and all that, anti-you because of these. So, can you give me your response to the whole allegation shenanigans?
All of them.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say the ERP thing, right? What's your response to that? And yeah, let's start with that.
That's the first time someone has asked me whether I've actually ERP, because most people just say, are you a pedophile? Are you, did you do pedophilia acts with this person? And I just say, oh no, of course. So, I guess this will be the first time I'll be more honest regarding erotic roleplay. So, when I was 15, I did get into online dating, and there was an individual that was into that sort of shit. I wasn't really into it, and looking back at some of the chat logs, she would type entire paragraphs, and I would respond with small little sentences. Um,
Yeah, I can relate with that, bro.
I also remember back in the day, she would initiate it, and I had proof of this because back then, I was kind of paranoid about people trying to do this thing. So I would record, I remember I record conversations, I screenshotted conversations, and I guess it was kind of stupid because, I mean, it shows I was paranoid, but it kind of saved me back then. Um, the
Yeah.
issue that happened, that occurred, was literally a year later, someone dug up the conversations and said it was a completely different individual, and said it was like a 10-year-old or something, which is completely false. The actual
Right.
individual was my ex. Her name's Jade. Her username was Empress Richter. She got deleted off of Roblox. I'm not gonna say that it was me or not, but she got deleted, and
Yeah.
that was the only time I did any serious erotical roleplay, quote unquote erotic roleplay, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I was also curious about that because you can continue after this. I was also curious about that because I've seen a lot of interviews of you saying you were a well Christian and all that stuff, and
yeah,
as a Christian or specifically more a Catholic myself, I was curious about that because I felt like if you really were such a great Christian, why would you do this? But of course, you were younger at the time, and you
yeah.
probably didn't have those views at the time.
No, she, manipulated me into a lot of these things.
All
I
right.
was actually uncomfortable with it at first,
All right.
and it was like my first girlfriend. It was not like,
Yeah.
it was not something I was experienced with. I wasn't really used to the whole thing with women, and I mean, this
Yeah.
sounds probably really bad considering I have this impression of being this Chad, and this is why I hate going into it. But I suppose I would rather give the truth than hide it, because I'm more concerned about reputation than I am about being laughed at. So, um,
Yeah.
it was a very, very, very shitty situation I was in, and of course there was no actual predatory whatever that they say it is. Um, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. What I'm hearing from you right now, I feel like she's more of the bad guy in this situation.
Oh, definitely, yeah. She was very
Yeah.
manipulative to the point where if I tried to leave her, she would say she was gonna kill herself, and then she would send me pictures
Oh.
of strawberry shampoo. I didn't know at the time, I was 15, but looking back, I think it was shampoo. But she would say that she cut herself and there'd be blood, and I'd like freak out. And you can ask people like Polish about it. There was a lot of defects that were around that would I would share my screen and they would see what she was saying, and I remember them working me through it on how bad it was, because I wanted to leave her before even this, and this was all kind of before all of the ERP kind of happened. I had the chance to leave her before, but I was afraid that she was going to kill herself if I did, and I was
Yeah.
young. I had no idea that she wouldn't, but that was how it was, and yeah, that's what happened. And
Yeah.
then after all of
Yeah.
that went down, I kind of leaked the chat logs on accident, but I used it to say that she was manipulating me. That's why I used them. And then she also did the same thing, I think, as well, because she was pissed off that I was leaking shit that was quote unquote private. And then I think
Yeah.
like almost 9 months later, new allegations came out when I was 15 or 16 that I was a pedophile, and they said it was because apparently the girl in question was 10. But I mean, let's be
God.
honest here, man. I don't think a 10-year-old would know detail by detail that much about any of that shit.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, to be honest, like currently, it must have been a few years ago, but at this point in time, at this point in history, I feel like it wouldn't be that like 10-year-olds are literally saying they're transgender. It isn't that far off the bat, I feel.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the if you literally read the ERP chat logs, like it detail, it's not like it's not, um, it was very, very descriptive. It was very, very
Yeah.
descriptive, and
Yeah.
obviously the person typing it was very, very, aroused. I don't know what you want to call it, but they were very into it.
Yeah.
I don't think a 10-year-old would be like that. I don't think a 10-year-old has a sex drive because they
Yeah.
don't have, you know what I mean? I don't, it's just
Yeah.
not believable. If they said I was 15 and it was like someone that was 14, it'd be more, or even 13, it'd be more believable, but it wasn't. It was another 15-year-old when I was 15. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there's that one, and then but that's just ERP, so I'm assuming you have more allegations you want me to explain. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wasn't really that when all of that came out, and of course, like I was not really into all that stuff. I was more doing my own thing. Like when all that drama came out, I was like, honestly, man, who cares? I'm just doing my own groups and all that shit. And also, before we continue with all the other accusation things, I like to thank you for for inspiring me a lot by for my groups. I actually was the guy who DM'd you about Brigandium. So yeah, that's if you remember that, which you probably
no,
don't,
I
and
don't.
you gave us some good advice. And therefore, I have to thank you for that because my group became pretty well organized, and I have to thank you for that. But yeah, um, but yeah, um, I also want to ask, like, how many like, were there any other like pedophilic accusations you had?
Um, so after that, there was the Luna situation that was probably the most relevant. I don't remember if there was a radical role, or I think there was allegations. So that was all faked. That was all of every single inch of that was all inspect element. That was all, whatever they did. I'm gonna go into detail in a second, but that was before I say anything. That was all bullshit. I don't know if there was also ERP accusations around Luna. I do remember there was like some sexting or something, but um, so who Luna actually was before I knew. So the actual person behind Luna were three people. It was Valerium, who was 19, Valerium's girlfriend, who was a little bit more younger. I don't know how young
Hmm.
though, and
Yeah.
Klug, who was like one of Valerium's best friends. And well, essentially they had this master plan of catfishing me or trying to catfish me because back in 2016, I basically declined his Finland as an ally. And he asked me why, and I said because his group is
Oh yeah,
dead.
that wait, was it the Finland that was it that Finland who you because I saw a video of you like of this guy just like really fucking up his little speech and you going in there and doing a really fucking good speech and like everyone was like, oh yeah, man, good job. It was that the Finland you're talking about or what?
No, what are you referring to?
Well, I remember the time when you had these groups where you would where you would you'd like fund people or whatever, tell people to join these groups or whatever
Right?
if they swore loyalty to you or something, and like a Finland was a part of that. I don't
Valerian
know.
was not a part of it, no, but there were times where I did do that. There was
Yeah.
Anasius where when he would give a speech, and it'd be like this shitty speech, and I'd give a speech, it'd be like this fire, like everyone was like up and down jumping over it. Or the time in Anglia when it was me versus the anarchists, and the anarchists didn't know how to debate, and I'm out there like
Oh
spitting fireball facts, and literally everyone there at first was anti-Richter, and then after I spoke publicly, most people there were pro-Richter. Like I literally remember
yeah.
I gained like the loyalty of the police department, I gained the loyalty of Canada, I gained the loyalty of most of the people there just by speaking better than the anarchists. And other than those two situations, I don't remember. I don't know any other situation where I was like, someone spoke and they were dog shit, and I spoke and I was like badass or whatever you want to call it. But no, Valerium owned a Finland, and his group was dead. And I remember checking it out in 2016, and I'm like, yeah, your group is dead. It's irrelevant. I'm more relevant than you. And then I blocked him or something. Ever since then,
Yeah.
Valerium had this extreme grudge against me, and essentially what happened was, I think it was in August of 2018, he created an old account named Luna Richter, and this is when it all
Mm.
began. and this account would spend the next like 10 months trying to gain my trust. And so fast forward all the way to April. This account would be an officer in the, was it the party? All right, yeah, the party. He was an officer in the party. I had no idea this was an alt account or anything until after all this shit went down. But um, eventually Luna became the secretary of the party, and basically I got to know Luna a lot more better, and we were friends. And I remember Luna had a very similar interest in history. I remember we were talking about like history books and movies, and we watched like Zulu, or we watched like World War II movies, and I'm like, wow, like, you act more like a man than you do a female, and I don't know if I said that was like a turn off or something, but I said like, but we had this
Nah,
friendship.
the dude, that sounds kind of gay, bro. No offense.
Well, no, he did though. He didn't really act like emotional. He acted a lot like masculine, and I found that to be kind of cringy and like a turn off. Did you misread? You
Yeah,
said turn off, not turn on.
yeah, I heard it.
Oh, okay. I don't know how that'd be gay, but okay. So, um,
No, no, no. I was joking around. I was
oh, okay,
joking.
okay. Well, I knew you were. I just didn't. Or whatever. What I would just continue. So, we became friends, and then after a while, I remember that Luna tried asking me out, and this was a little like a month or a few months after only dated Ellie, and then or no, this was I can't. I've dated like 9 women my entire life. I can't remember all of them.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was involved in real life dating before Luna, and I was trying to get away from online dating, and I was like 15, 16 at this time. So I remember Luna said, "Hey, you're really cute, you're really funny, you're really charismatic, blah 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 blah. I really like you. Will you be my boyfriend?" And I'm like, you know, I said you're really really loyal, you're really really good to me, and I said, "But you live in England, and I'm trying to get away from online dating." And I remember Luna responding in a very, very, very hostile manner. Like it was like rage, like, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy you.
mm,
I'm gonna destroy your groups, and I will ruin your life. I can't believe you hurt me
yeah,
like this. You've hurt my heart. You've hurt me." And then
yeah.
for like the next
I
week,
mean,
we were exploited. So
yeah. Well, I mean, dude, she was English anyways. Who cares?
yeah, it was an Ihor, not that I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
of. Um,
yeah.
sorry that I'm pausing. This guy just left every group chat that I'm in, and I keep
Mm,
checking if he left the servers, but never mind. So, um, let me think. So yeah, so I think it was like a few months after all of this shit went down. I think it was like in mid-April. I remember I was on vacation in Indiana. I was on like a break, and I was with my family, and I remember I took a break from like my family or whatever, went upstairs to my phone, and I got this DM from a guy named Arcadius Pedo Exposed or something like that. And I have the
such a
chat
dumb
logs,
fucking
but
name.
let me actually try and find. Well, I'll just tell you what happened. So I remember from my memory, he was like, "Hey, why is your dick out on this video?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Why are you like masturbating on camera or something like that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And at first I thought that someone hacked into like my PC or something and like tried to expose me because I had no idea, but the guy sounded really confident. And I was really confused because I didn't really recall what he was talking about. I thought maybe one of my exes, somehow screenshotted something, or I was really confused on what was going on. And then I didn't actually watch the video either. I kind of just kept reading, and he said, "Why are you texting 13-year-old girls or something like that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like I said, "Who are you referring to? Like, what is this all about?" And he said, "Luna." I said, "Luna is 15." And he said, "Okay, well you're 18." I said, "No, I'm 16 right now." I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Okay, well, either way, you're a pedo and your dick is out, and therefore, you're a cringe lord, retard, whatever." And I'm like, I said, okay. And then that was the conversation we had. And he said he's gonna like expose me. And shortly after that conversation happened, I was later DM'd by like 20 people saying like, "Hey, there's this video out there, and in the video it claims it's you, but it doesn't even sound like you nor look like you. And then I watched like part of the video. Well, no, so I had someone screen share because I didn't want it to be IP tracked. I was kind of paranoid about being IP tracked, so I had someone else show me the video, and I watched like the first half of it, and essentially I remember seeing it was really graphic too. Like the sheer half of the video was very graphic. It was very descriptive, and I just couldn't. I couldn't just sit through
Yeah.
it. And I remember saying like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna sit through it. This is just like really bad, gay pornography or something. And so
Yeah.
I had people study the video. We studied the facial features. We went all over, trying to look for the original. We found to make wanted to see if it was like not like a gay actor or something that was on Pornhub. Um, stuff like that. We tried to trace it, and I mean, we couldn't really find out. So we didn't know if it was a deep fake. We didn't know what it was. So we came to the conclusion that the guy was
Yeah.
Asian because my facial characteristics look very Asian. I think Lopi says I have like an Asian skull, but I don't. I don't have a Japanese skull. I don't know why he says that, but I don't. But I look Asian at some angles. And so we thought he
Yeah.
found someone that was like Asian that looked kind of like me, who didn't. There's like 30 things that look different from his face that he
Jesus,
decided to
man.
use, or he found someone to do this act on camera and was able to make it so that there was like a fake, like he got my face and put it over his face, aka deep faking. At the end of the day, we didn't really know. It was very hard to study, but so what I did
Hmm.
was I made a document that debunked the pedo claims. I had proof I was like
Uh-huh.
16, that I was 15 when me and Luna spoke for the first time. Um, I had proof of her age. Well, no. So what happened was Luna went back and deleted all of the chat logs that basically, well, he either edited chat logs or he deleted chat logs. So the chat logs where I asked the age were edited. The chat logs where I talked about his age were deleted because it would look suspicious where if I said, oh, you're 15, and then, he says, oh, I'm, something else, it would look really weird and suspicious, like he's trying to, hide something, right? So he
Yeah.
deleted a lot of shit, and I remember putting that all in the
Mm.
document. So I released the document, and I remember that this was like really really bad because I remember looking at the website, and there was over like 3,000 views, or no, I think there was like over 10,000 views and like 2,000 downloads. So
Jesus Christ.
um the one argument I should have used that I didn't use is that I should have said if it was real it would have been CP, but I never used that argument for some reason. I always went straight to the pedo argument and said, hey, this is fake and here is why. This is fake, here is why. And
Mhm.
90% of people that talked to me, that questioned me and were serious about it, typically ended up believing me. Those that didn't
Yeah.
believe me were usually just trolls. There were a lot of people that just trolled and said, hey, you come down a carpet, you're a funny guy, you're a retard, you're an autist, and then they would leave the call. They didn't actually want to debate. They wanted to join a call with me, they wanted to yell at me, scream at me, get out their autism, and then leave the call. But
Hmm.
those that were actually serious, those who actually investigated me, came to the conclusion that it was fake because, I mean, like I said in the video, it says I'm 18, and the video has these heretical chat logs. But when I go through the chat logs themselves and I try to find the exact chat logs, they're not even there. There's none of these chat logs that show that I'm doing all of these things. And so for the next month, it was like terrible because not only um was this going around, but my YouTube channel at the time was shut down. So I couldn't make a video and respond to it with like an actual
Yeah.
like voice recording. I had to rely on messengers to go around to every server and basically, reverse damage done. But
Yeah.
Thorium told me when me and him made up, which I'll get to that in a second, that he had over 100 servers listed and that he recalls DMing over 10,000 people about like the video and everything else in at least 10 different genres. So
Hmm.
what basically happened was it spread, so it would be sent to someone, they would watch the video, and then they would spread the video. They would say, hey, I don't know who this Alexander guy or who this Arcadius guy is, but here's a video of him apparently preying on a child, and they would they would spread that video. And
Right.
uh it was for some reason, I never was stressed about it. I never thought about repercussions or people leaving me. In fact, I
Mhm.
don't think anyone really was concerned about it that was under me. Everyone under me was kind of like, "Oh, you're right. Oh, this is bullshit." And I mean, it was kind of a bullshit video. I mean, if everyone knows that I'm not 18 and the video says I'm 18 or the video says this, and this, and that are not true, then you kind of already screw it up, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So at the end of the day, I remember, I think it was like in late August, so it was like a month and a half after all this shit went down, when Valeria eventually reached out and apologized. He said, "I'm really, really sorry. All of this happened." We went on for like a 3-hour conversation, and he exposed everything that happened. And then a week
Mhm.
or two before we had that conversation, I spoke with his girlfriend who broke up with him and exposed him for what he did and said how, it was all that he used her pictures, that he used her voice for like voice calls to try and catfish me and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
it was kind of exposed. And then after that, it slowly changed from, for a time being, it went from calling me a pedo to calling me a carpet comer. Yeah, it was like I'm the, like they call me Captain Carpet these days. But to be honest, I kind of made that meme up myself because I don't really care. I mean, I don't really care that people saw a video they think is me, and now they have this big meme that I apparently come on carpets. I mean, I don't watch porn. I'm not really into that shit. But if they want to go around
Yeah,
believing that, I mean, okay, it's a funny meme. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that's basically that allegation. Um, I mean, it kind of backfired because eventually, I think like a year later, I eventually just did a lot more research on it and a lot more like into the law aspects. I was curious, like, what are the boundaries and what can people not do? And I realized that Valerian was 19 and that I was 16 at the time. And if the video was real, it would be a criminal offense. Like he would be in prison for like 10 years for both distributing child pornography, assuming it's real, and for um for grooming me because obviously to get me to do those actions, you would have to emotionally manipulate me by being someone older and having more, of an authority over me, right? So on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He would have been
yeah.
in deep shit if all of that was real. And so now the new argument that we use that is more, um, because a lot of anti-richters don't care that the video is fake. They just don't care. And they still go around
Yeah,
spreading it and they still go around picking up the same bullshit. So now
yeah,
it's like if you tell them it's CP, because I mean, honestly, if they believe it's actually me, then they should believe that it's CP because there's no way I was 18 2 or 3 years ago. There's just no way
yeah.
that I was
Yeah,
18 back then.
they're just like fucking their own heads up, I think.
Yeah, it kind
Um,
of backfired
yeah,
on them, and that's how I've gotten so many Richters arrested and disabled. It's through that video alone because I was able to convince Discord, I was able to convince a lot of organizations that this video is CP. So now whenever they upload it, the website tracks their IP, they forward it to the authorities, and then they like delete their account and stuff like that. And that's what they've been doing for the past year, is they just do that. That's also why when you would try to watch the video on Pixel Drain, the site would be DDoSed, and apparently, um, the site was being DDoSed by the FBI because it was apparently CP. And because the FBI couldn't get the owner to take down the website, they would DDoS it until the owner took down the video. So eventually the video got taken down by the owner of the website and then it was resolved and then they stopped DDoSing the website. So, um, it is a lot more of a bigger situation that all came out of the pedo allegations. After that, there wasn't really anything new. All I've been seeing is either very, very obvious fake shit or it's just reused shit from the past. That's all it is these days. There is nothing new that has came out because there is no. I don't even really talk to girls online anymore. That was more of something I did back then
yeah,
when I was younger. So to even
yeah,
say I did that to someone, you can't even like if you tried to fake that, it would be hard to unless you made a fake account. But you would have to have a backup story. You'd have to have some sort of like, relevancy to do that. And obviously you can't because I talk to girls IRL. For all people know, I could be dating someone right now, but nobody knows. So for someone to make a new allegation up, it would be very counterproductive, and it would make them look a lot more stupid. So that's why
Yeah.
I think nothing new has been formed up. However, there was screenshots that were leaked by Chang, apparently between me and a 13-year-old. But he later came out and said that they were faked. So I don't really count that as a legitimate allegation, considering that he made them, leaked them, and then said they were fake later on. But I remember there was a server that announced those screenshots and said, "Oh, these are real. He's out doing it again to more little girls." And then I'm like, "Hey, retard, this guy actually said that they're fake. So maybe you shouldn't do that." So, and Valerium also
Yeah.
admitted that the video was fake too, by the way. So, not only
Yeah. Yeah.
is there evidence that it's fake, that it's not me, but Valerium himself said that he like paid an actor or something. I don't know. He went into this like
Fucking pay
hour.
the actor.
Yeah. I asked him
Jesus
why, and I
Christ.
asked him why I went so far. I'm like, so why would you go this far into trying to ruin not just me, but ruin my life? And he said, oh, well, and he said, well, I was young, and he was not, he was like 18, 19, but he's like, oh, well, I was young, and I thought you were this really egotistical guy, and, you declined my ally request in 2016, and ever since then I've been pissed off at you. That was his reasoning for why I went that far.
Jesus, man.
Unbelievable. I mean, imagine someone declined your ally request, so now your ultimate goal is to try and catfish him and leak his nudes all over the internet and frame him as a pedophile.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. I don't know who in their right mind would go about doing that over something so small, but uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's what happened. So
Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, that's pretty interesting from your side of story. Honestly, when all of this came out, really wasn't that invested in it. The only thing I can really like fully remember of me doing is no offense, right?
mhm.
Right? Before I say it, no offense. But um the only thing I really did is laugh with a friend of mine in a VC about a picture of you in your swimming shorts. That's the only thing I really
At least you're
remember.
honest about what it actually was.
Yeah, I mean it's just swimming shorts. I don't get the
Well, which one? Because
like.
there's like three with me in the swimming trunks. There's one where I'm
I
sitting down. There's one where I'm standing up.
yeah I think it was like I don't fully remember. I think it was like I don't know, like you with like by like the mirror and like just standing there. I don't remember fully.
Oh, that was the picture I sent to Christina. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That was okay. I was being a big funny. There was a separate picture I sent where I didn't make that weird face. I made the weird face because there was like back in the day, there was another picture that got leaked before Christina. Um, and it was in a video call. I was in a video call and there was no air conditioning. And so basically the picture got leaked and they said that I was like naked in a call and that I was like masturbating. But there is another picture that proved and debunked it because I had swimming trunks on. Because I was swimming that day too. So later
Yeah.
on, there was this meme about me and my abs. And it was like, oh, the Kaiser abs, the Kaiser ab. It's Kaiser abs Richter or some retarded shit like that. So me and Christina had this inside joke about my abs where. I mean, this is kind of private, but she had this obsession over it,
Yeah.
right? So I had this
Yeah.
I gave this weird picture with this awkward face because I thought it was funny. It's like, oh, I give the weird eye look, and then I gave her another picture where I look like manly or something. But for some reason, she thought it'd be a funny idea to leak the funny eye picture look to the public. And so ever since then, and then someone also said that I sent that to a young girl. Like, oh, you sent it to a little girl. I'm like, I sent it to someone. Christina was actually 2 years older than me when I was 16. She was 18 and I was, well, no, 15. So we started dating when I was 15. Then I was 16. Then she turned 18. Okay, my bad. My bad. 3-year age difference. Okay, she was an adult, and they said that I was a predator on. It's like if you really look deep, deep, deep into the allegations and who the actual people are and everything else. I mean, you'll realize how stupid these people are. You'll realize why I get headaches just from talking about it. I mean,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So that got leaked, and then that went around. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, well, thank you about that overview, man. Like, I currently like in general, I find it kind of scummy that people still continue about it all that bullshit,
Hmm.
even though like if you really like, I feel like if you were like actually doing that, I don't think you can just get it out of your head what you were just saying at the time. So yeah, I totally believe you at this on the side of the accusation things. So yeah, thanks about enlightening me for that, man.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, no. After that, yeah, I don't really have any specific other questions actually.
You do or don't have any other?
I don't really have any other.
That's it.
I think. Well, how many minutes have we been talking?
I think an hour.
An hour. All right. Well, yeah, I don't necessarily have any thing more.
Well, I want to address as many things as possible. That's why I'm curious. That's why I'm doing this. I want to get
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
this
yeah,
out because I don't know. I mean, I don't care about reputation that much. I mean, I'm quitting. At the same time, I do because I feel like a lot of these anti-richters, it's just I don't know how to put it. I think it's just kind of
yeah,
stupid at this point. I mean, I think it's so
yeah,
I just can't wrap my head around it how they can be this stupid and other people that aren't as stupid as them can still support them. It kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
is weird to me how they can do this, and that's kind of why I've been doing this. I've been trying to speak to people and try to figure out, why are they this deeply invested into all of this bullshit? And so,
yeah,
I'm hoping that some of them can open up their minds and try challenging me and try to ask me or at least challenge me on some of my logic, unless they haven't even heard from my point of view. But I've addressed this shit so many times that I would probably be a millionaire for each time I've done it, because
yeah,
I haven't asked these things a lot, and I think I've also done it publicly, aka recorded it maybe like 3 different times. I've explained this multiple
yeah,
times, and I don't mind doing it. I get better each time. Each time I explain it, it sounds better, I guess. But um, it's still something. It's just something I shouldn't have to do. I shouldn't have to do any of these things. I think
yeah,
in a pure world, the actual people they should be mad at is those who try to expose me in the first place. In a
yeah,
perfect world, it should be the opposite. I shouldn't be the one. It shouldn't be that the victim of something should be also the person getting attacked and being slammed over it. But apparently in this world, that's the case. Apparently, if you're nearly a victim of an adult trying to catfish you, you deserve to get doxxed, killed, and swatted. Um, it's
yeah.
really,
I found it really fucking weird that literally on the Roblox platform, right? That because we fucking LARP about being military members, we have these fucking points about fucking pedophile accusations and fucking people literally trying to do fucking terrorist bombings to people who did something mean a few years ago because they larped a little bad in their little group. Like this, I feel like this fucking community is really fucking shit, and that's why I'm trying to distance myself from it more.
yeah, it really is a shitty place. I mean, I think when I
Yeah.
quit, it might get better, it might not. I really don't know.
Well, it's
I,
gonna be very weird without you, man.
I know.
I know that a lot of people, I know that a lot of people, don't like you and all that shit.
Oh, they love
But
me. Talk about me all the time, man. They talk about me every day. They just love me.
yeah,
What are they gonna do?
yeah, it's just gonna be weird without you, man. Like seriously, I never really liked you. Like I did like fucking love your groups. Honestly, like I loved Octavia. I like the idea. As I like the aesthetic of the Spanish stuff. Because I'm a Spaniard myself, and I like the aesthetic of
Yo,
it.
Viva Franco moment.
Huh?
Viva Franco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's just it's just weird. Seeing you gone. You were like a big figure in the community. It's kind of weird seeing you gone. Like honestly, man, best of luck to you. What you're gonna do with the rest of your life, honestly. Like
Thanks.
I hope you have like a big succession with that. Yeah, I just hope that goes well.
I spoke to Love Fair a few months ago, and he said that if he ever sees me on TV running for president, he's gonna laugh his ass off and like choke on water or something. He's gonna spit all of his drink out on the TV when he sees me running for president. I said, "Oh, okay." So I mean, I think it'd be kind of funny if I like upgrade from being this Lego dictator to being this like political figure in the real world. But I mean,
Yeah,
think big. I think big. I think big, and I think if I pursue myself, if I'm confident, if I take my skills in the online world and put it into the real world, then I don't think it's impossible. I think that it's very much possible that I could lead or at least be a part of a massive, relevant political movement, or something
yeah,
down the road of activism that actually pertains to my beliefs. So
yeah,
I look forward to that, and I really, really hope that I can maintain that. I don't want to be like Lewis, where I pursue it, and then something happens 2 years later, and then everything goes to shit, and the only place I really had anything going on was Roblox. I mean, that'd be kind of weird and be kind of stupid because
yeah,
I've never really had a dependence on Roblox since prior to TRI. I think after I did
yeah,
TRI, after I started doing all this dating shit, I had a lot more confidence to do shit in the real world. And it wasn't until
yeah,
after I think Italy, so after the like after the spring, it was like summer of 2019, I began to get out there and do a bunch of shit with my life. Camp, well, not just camping with friends, but like I don't know, like parties and hanging out. And I remember we like almost went skinny dipping in my pool at 3 a.m. on my birthday. Fun shit like that. I began doing a lot more often, and
yeah,
that's when I guess I guess I kind of developed a life, like an actual life, where Roblox was just more of a side thing, and most of my time was put into real life matters. So,
yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Best of luck for that, man. Like I hope you get big. If I was American, I'd vote for you. Maybe I become a legal immigrant and I vote for you secretly. Yeah,
you never know. I mean, I do appreciate it though. I do appreciate the support. I do appreciate the honesty and all the other stuff that you and other people give me. I mean, I spoke to Luft, and Luft said the reason why he became anti-Richter is because of pressure. He would join a game,
yeah,
and they would socially ostracize him. They would literally
yeah,
attack
yeah.
him, and
Yeah, I feel like most people are anti-Richterists because they keep hearing the same fucking bull crap the whole fucking time, and I feel like that's the reason why so many people are anti-you because there's just all these stories which are easily fucking debunkable, which people just keep fucking talking about, and that's what really drives the hatred to you, I think.
yeah, well, because everyone's afraid to voice their opinion. If they voice their opinion, they lose all their friends. That's why.
Yeah,
It's like the
yeah,
freaking labor unions in the school industry. If you voice your own opinion and education board or whatever, you're not education board. As like a teacher, you get removed because of the labor unions. So it's
yeah,
the same thing here, except it's not leftism; it's anti-Richterism. You have all these people, all these group of friends,
yeah,
or quote unquote unions, and if you voice anything that's pro-Richter, all of them block you, all of them hate you, and now all of your best friends that you've known for years are gone. And I think it's
yeah,
going to be a while until people grow some balls and they start speaking up for my name. So it's not going to be the Richters. The Richters don't. The Richters can't. They're already, someone else has to make that stand, and I don't know who it's going
yeah,
to be. Someone is going to have to eventually. I don't know if it's going to be a group leader. I don't know if it's going to be someone that's really influential, but someone is going to have to eventually make an announcement and say, "Hey, I know everyone here hates the Richters. I know that he's a shitty guy according to all of you, but I'm not a bad person. I'm going to speak the truth. He's not a bad person. He's a really good guy. Blah 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 blah. And someone's going to have to do that
yeah.
eventually. Otherwise, it's just going to continue. It's going to continue and continue
Yeah.
and continue until people actually man up, they speak on my behalf, and they make a stand and say, you know what, I'm done with this shit. You can either leave or stay because I'm done with all this bullshit. I'm done with people slandering Richter. I'm done with people hating on Richter, and I'm done with people just being an asshole in general. And until people do that,
Yeah.
until people grow some balls and actually try to be honorable people, it's going to remain this way. There is going, as so long as I am hated, toxicity will never end. Mark my
Yeah.
words. There
Yeah.
is no exception. There is no exception. If you want a good community, then start by eliminating anti-Richterism, because anti-Richterism is toxic and it is a ideal that does nothing but advocate for the extreme hatred and extreme, um, pain of anyone that supports me or is loyal to me. So
Yeah.
that's my view on it.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a positive side of being the Jews of the Milsim community. Like, no. Seriously, I think about it, man. Like, imagine, right? You were Richtarian in a few years, and the toxicity have ended, right? Let's
Right.
say it ends, right? Um, yeah.
Oh, there's going to be a Richter Holocaust, and then what's going to happen is we're going to over exaggerate it and then say it was this bad,
Yeah.
and then then you're going to come in with like the Americans, and you're going to say like, oh my God, they've been exterminating Richterists all along. We have Richterist death camps, and then what's going to happen is all the Richters are going to like migrate to your country, and then we're going to have like a homeland. We're going to have like the great state of
Fucking apartheid
of
Richterianism.
yes, yes, and there's gonna be the great state of Richterreal. Richterreal is gonna be formed, and it's gonna be like if
You
you
gotta, for reparations, you gotta pay 6 million robots.
Richter reparations, yes. So you're kind of right. I mean, 10 years down the road after the Great Richter Holocaust, there is going to be this great return. We're going to form the Richter world order in secret. No one's going to know that, though. No one's going to know. It's going to be a conspiracy theory. If you
Yeah.
believe that we want to take over the genre, oh man, that's conspiracy theory, dude. You can't say that. That's anti-Richterism, man. Are you a racist? Are you hating on the great Richter people? Wow,
Anti-Richterist.
that's anti that's anti-Richterite, man. Are you an anti-Richterite? Wow, I can't believe you, man. You're disgusting. I can't believe you would hate on the chosen people. Did you know that they're actually God's chosen people? Can't believe you, dude.
I can't believe you, man.
Yeah.
fucking get kicked out of your university for being an anti-Richterite.
Oh my God, dude! No way, dude. We'll literally control the media and everything, and they'll be like, if someone is a anti-Richter, they get kicked out of university, we ruin their job. Like I'll literally email their teachers and stuff and be like, "Oh man, your student is an anti-Richterite. He believes in the great carpet conspiracy theories. He believes that the Richter Holocaust never happened, and he's a denier of an event that killed 6 million Rotarians. We can't have that. We have to, he has. This is disgusting, man. How could anyone deny this event? So." Oh man, just I should the Rothschilds apparently, I don't think this is true, but apparently the Rothschilds like funded Hitler and the Third Reich. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know there could be like a Rothschild Richter family, like a branch of Rothschild Richters that fund the anti-Richters to start a Richter Holocaust, which results in all of this. I mean, you never know. You
Uh,
never know. But
yeah,
uh,
man.
oh,
Wait, 1 second, 1 second.
all right. The Great Richter Holocaust. I would
Sorry, my
actually.
little sister came in my room. I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if that actually happened, I don't know. I think I'd actually want to see that. I think I'd actually want to like
Hey,
figure
man, I'm
out.
gonna make it work.
All right.
I'm gonna make it an inside job, man.
Okay. Oh.
Um, yeah, man. What a fucking history, man. Like you've really changed like the way of the community. Honestly,
Yeah, I think I honestly am the reason why everyone just doesn't take anything seriously anymore. I think they saw my group and they're like, "Holy shit, this guy has a entire cult following on Roblox," and all of a sudden everyone just dropped maturity and just went full on shitpost mode. They're like, "Shitpost mode activate! Holy shit, this guy is gonna kill someone! Holy shit, this guy is gonna murder a freaking 5-year-old child! Look out, guys! Can't take the game
oh
seriously."
man,
Yeah, I've definitely made an impact. I've made an impact on lots of young Richterian children or something. Yeah, I think when I quit, I think they're gonna miss me. I
yeah, I'm
think
gonna
they're
meet you
all
as well,
gonna
man.
they're all gonna miss me and they're gonna want me back. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, man! Do you remember the days when we would hate on Richter and Richter would make these podcasts? He would respond. Remember the days when Richter would invade the World War II genre and he was like freaking Stalin and sending in millions of his cultists and they were taking over entire maps. And remember when Richter was the Adolf Hitler of the World War II genre? And now it's like, where is he now? Oh wow,
Yeah.
Richter got a life. Like, come on, man. Why didn't you like? I'm just gonna say I took your advice, dude. You said get a life, touch some grass. I did that. I'm just taking your advice. They actually believe that I have no life, so I'm taking your advice. Why are you so upset? Why are you mad, bro? Don't you want to get a life? Don't you want me to get a girlfriend and get married? Like, thought you guys didn't want me here anymore. So, um, yeah, I really wish that things could go down a lot more light-hearted way, but life is full of challenges. It's full of great mysteries, and that's just part of the adventure. That's just part of the
Yeah,
road of life. And without any of those challenges, without any of those setbacks occurring in my life, there would be no great legacy. I mean, imagine
yeah,
legacy only being, oh, I have 100,000 Robux. I make a group. I have no opposition. Oh, we win. I mean, as opposed to this great, great legacy of founding us in the midst of a struggle and rising up to power and then being opposed by the many great anti-Richterians and being brought down and then returning and bringing up the Richterians once more and taking back our legacy. And it's a lot better
yeah,
of a story when there's struggle, when there's challenge, when there's all this other shit going on. Although I
yeah,
will admit, I do kind of wish that the anti-Richters weren't as autistic. I kind of wish that they were more honor. Why couldn't there be an
yeah,
actual, like an actual nation that could take me down? Why did it have to be a bunch of random resistant cell groups that shitpost all the time and make up random bullshit that I kill children and rape cats all day long? So someone actually said that too.
Rich Darian is Alec is confirmed Shane Dawson.
Apparently, the entry to become a Richterian is you have to masturbate in a group chat with me and like 9 other people. Someone actually said that, by the way.
Dude, I can just imagine like everyone who joins your server, like you drag them into a personal VC, and they're like, "All right, put your cam on, to buckle down."
No. Like imagine you're in a gaming VC, right? You're playing like a random game on Roblox with all the other Richters. All of a sudden, you get dragged to a VC, and all of our cams are like on, and all you see is our hands like gripped, and we're all waiting there, and we're like, all right, your turn, waiting for you.
The count was the side of your face.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god.
Oh man, what a
Oh,
fucking story,
I can't.
man.
Like this is us every day. I mean, when we're bored, we literally just sit there and think of like all the shit we're accused of, and we just make up theoreticals on like how it could have even happened, like how it would have gone down in the actual Richter dynasty. It's like the thing about it, it kind of is like these QAnon conspiracy theories. You know how there's these conspiracy theories that it's like, well, I will be honest, there are a lot of things QAnon says that are kind of true, but I don't know about the whole, you know, elite sacrificing children for blood and raping them so that they can look younger. I think that's a bit far-fetched, but when I think of QAnon, I think of anti-Richters because of how far-fetched the anti-Richter theories are about all of these different things that apparently that I do on a daily basis or whatever. So, you know, I just want to vibe, man. I just want to go in the vibe tribe. I want to, do my own thing. I want to I want to be I want to be a little dictator and just dictate my entire group. That's all I want to do. I just want to, you know,
Yeah.
cultivate my people and lead my Third Reich, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Man, well, really, man, it really was a fucking pleasure. Like, I wanted to like talk to you one on one for a while, and it's great that I can
Mm,
at the end of your reign. It was fucking amazing.
yeah. Well, you know what they say. Um, don't cry that it's gone. Smile that it happened. So
Yeah,
I was here. I came. I saw. I retired. That's that.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, all right. Listen, man. Have good luck with your life and good luck with fucking dogs or something or whatever.
Dogs and counts. Yeah. I'll have
It's gonna
fun.
be fucking whales at some point, man. Trust me.
I can't wait for the sequel to the carpet video. It's like the next one is gonna be me and like a dog or something. Like, oh, there he is. He's got a dog this time. Can't wait, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Man, what a fucking adventure, man.
all right. Well, I'm assuming that is it then. That is all of your questions for
Yeah,
today.
yeah, that's all of it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. YouTube, thank you for watching. This was probably one of our funnest, quote unquote anti-Richter debate podcast questionnaire things yet. I am still open to questions. I will still be open for a while. Well, not question, but more or less debates. I think that people get the point now. I think that people get
Yeah,
the point on my reasoning, and now I'm looking for people to challenge my reasoning, which, if that even is the case, or bring up new things to the table. Maybe there's new accuracy, maybe there's new things they don't like about me. I really have no idea. Only one way to find out. Only one way to find out if that's the case. Otherwise, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and have a splendid day.